A warm greetings to all. Today we are discussing the topic the preamble of Indian Constitution. The Constitution of India begins with a preamble which describes the nature of Indian state and the objectives it is committed to secure. It is a brief introductory statement which may be considered as the heart and soul of the Constitution. According to Ernest Barker, the preamble is the keynote of the Constitution. Then, on the words of K. M. Munshi, preamble as the political horoscope of the Constitution. Then, according to Thakurdas Bhargav, the preamble is the most precious part and soul of the Constitution. In short, it acts as a mirror of the Constitution or introduction of the Constitution or summary of the Constitution, or also it is known as the preface of Indian Constitution. A preamble is an introductory statement in a document that explains the philosophy and objectives. In a constitution, it presets the intentions of its framers, the history behind its creation, and core values and principles of the nation. Every constitution aims to build up a government structure based upon certain basic features. The sentiments expressed in preamble were those described by Jawaharlal Nehru. In order to have a historical knowledge of the preamble, we should look into the historic objective resolution moved by Jawaharlal Nehru on 13th December 1946. The objective resolution defined the aims of the assembly and enshrined the aspirations and values behind the making of constitution. On the basis of the objective resolution, India's constitution gave institutional expression to the fundamental commitments of equality, liberty, democracy, sovereignty, and a cosmopolitan identity. Then later, when the Constituent Assembly was formulated, his first task was to the formulation of the objectives and the guiding principles of the Constitution. The objective resolution, which was adopted by the Constituent Assembly on 26th January 1947, became the basis for that. Even though the preamble of Indian Constitution is derived from the objective resolution, we borrowed certain principles from various countries. The American Constitution was the first to begin with a preamble. Many countries, including India, followed this path. The language of the Indian Constitution was influenced by Australian Constitution. The terms social, economic, and political justice were taken from the Russian Revolution. The ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity are borrowed from the motto of French Revolution. Okay, the preamble of Indian Constitution we read as, "We the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all, fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation." In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. Then, the features of the preamble of Indian Constitution. First one, popular sovereignty. The preamble of Indian Constitution categorically accept the principles of popular sovereignty, that means source of authority. The preamble declares that we the people of India are the source of the Constitution. The sovereignty in the Indian polity vests in the people and the Indian polity is of democratic form. The Constitution derives its authority from the people of India. The preamble categorically accepts the principles of popular sovereignty. It begins with the words, "We the people of India." These words testify the people of India are the ultimate source of all authority, then the government derives its power from them. So, the first feature is that the source of authority, that is popular sovereignty. The second feature of the preamble of Indian Constitution is that the nature of state. The preamble of Indian Constitution declares India to be a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republican polity. The preamble of Indian Constitution enshrines various types of state. First one is that sovereign state. Sovereignty means that the supreme power of the state. It means the independent authority of a state. And also it means that it has the power to legislate on any subject. As a sovereign state, it is free both internally and externally to take her own decisions and implement these for her people and territories. Then the second one is that socialist state. Socialism means that all means of production should be owned and managed by the state, and every economic activity should be undertaken with a view to common good of the society rather than individual benefit. The term socialist was not there in the initial text of the Indian Constitution. Later it was added by the 42nd Amendment Act in 1976 along with the words secular and integrity. India is a democratic socialist state. It is regarded as a prime feature of the state. Even before the term was added in 1976, the Constitution had a socialist content in the form of directive principles of state policy. The term socialist state means that wealth should be shared equally by the society through distributive justice. Third one is that secular state. Secularism means that it is not negation of religion but equal respect of all religion. The term secular refers to the relationship between the government and the religious groups. Even though the term secular was not mentioned in the initial text of the Constitution, the nature of Constitution have always been secular. Secularism separates the power of the state and the religion. All religions are equal in the eyes of the government. The Indian Constitution embodies the positive concept of secularism, that is, all religions in our country, irrespective of their strength, have the same status and support from the state. Then the next feature is that democratic state. Democracy means that power of the people. The word democratic not only refers to the political but also to social and economic democracy. A democratic polity was stipulated in the preamble is based on the doctrine of popular sovereignty, that is, possession of supreme power by the people. Democracy is of two types, direct democracy and indirect democracy. In direct democracy, people exercise their supreme power directly, as in the case of Switzerland. The indirect democracy, the representatives elected by the people exercise their political power and thus carry on the government and make the laws. India adopted indirect democracy. The people of India elect their government by a system of universal adult franchise, popularly known as one man, one vote. Then the next feature of state is that republican state. The preamble of Indian Constitution declares India to be a republic. In a republicanism or republican form of government, the head of the state is elected by the people directly or indirectly. It also denotes an authority based on the Constitution. The word denotes a government where no one holds public power as proprietary rights. These are the nature of state mentioned in the preamble of Indian Constitution, that is sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic. Then, the third feature of preamble of Indian Constitution is that the four objectives enshrined in it. These objectives are justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. First one is that justice. Justice means that fulfillment of legitimate expectation of law. The preamble of Indian Constitution mentions justice, social, economic, and political. The term justice in the preamble embraces three distinct forms, that is, social justice, economic justice, and political justice, secured through various provisions of fundamental rights and directive principles. Social justice denotes equal treatment of all citizens without any social discrimination. Economic justice means that non-discrimination between people on the basis of economic factors, and also no discrimination between men and women on the basis of income, wealth, and economic status. Then the political justice implies that all citizens should have equal political right, equal access to all political offices, and equal voice in the government. And also political justice means equal, free, and fair opportunities to the people for participation in the political process. As discussed earlier, the ideal of justice has been taken from Russian Revolution. Then the ideal of liberty. It refers to the freedom of Indian nationals. It means the power to do anything but does not injure others. The preamble declares liberty to the second cardinal objective to be secured. It includes liberty of thoughts, expression, belief, faith, and worship. The grant of fundamental rights, part third of the Constitution, including right to freedom, is designed to secure this objective. Liberty may be divided into two: positive liberty and negative liberty. Positive liberty means that restricted liberty, and also negative liberty means that unrestricted liberty. The term liberty means the absence of restraints on the activities of individuals, and at the same time providing opportunities for the development of individual personalities. Then liberty, as elaborated in the preamble, is very essential for successful functioning of Indian Constitution. Then the third objective enshrined in the preamble is that equality. Equality means equality before law and equal protection of law. It means that the absence of social privileges to any section of the society, of the provisions of adequate opportunities for all individuals without any discrimination. The preamble secures to all citizens of India equality of status and opportunity. Article 14 to 18 of Indian Constitution ensures right to equality. It is the first fundamental rights of Indian citizen. Then another objective enshrined in the preamble is that fraternity. Fraternity refers to a feeling of brotherhood and a sense of belonging with the country among its people. Fraternity means that inculcation of strong feeling of spiritual and psychological unity among the people. The Constitution promotes these feelings of fraternity by the system of single citizenship. The preamble declares that fraternity has to assure two things: the dignity of the individual and the integrity of the nation. The term integrity has been added to the preamble by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act in 1976. These ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity in our preamble have been taken from French Revolution. Then, the fourth feature of preamble is that the date of adoption and enactment. In its last paragraph of the preamble specifies the important historical fact that the Constitution was adopted on 26 November 1949. It was adopted and enacted by the Constituent Assembly, acting as an elected representative body of the people of India. The preamble came into force on 26 November 1949. However, this was rejected by Sir Alladi Krishnasamy Iyer, who observed that the preamble should come into force along with the Indian Constitution, which was on 26 January 1950. He observed that the preamble, which declared India to be a republic, could not possibly come into force on 26 November 1949 because India became a republic on 26 January 1950. Until then, India only had a dominion status. The importance of utility of the preamble of Indian Constitution has been pointed out in the several discussions of our Supreme Court. The preamble constitutes a key for the interpretation of the Constitution. Through its preamble, the Constitution commits itself to democracy, republicanism, secularism, socialism, and liberalism, and also welfare state. The preamble states objectives which the Constitution is committed to secure for all the people of India. The preamble contains highest values of ideals for which India stands. Earlier, the preamble was not considered the part of the Constitution. It was considered as a key to open the Constitution. The Barbary Union case in 1960 is an important case which discussed the preamble being a part of the Constitution. In Barbary case, it was used as a reference under Article 143, Part 1 of the Constitution, which was on the implementation the Indo-Pakistan agreement related to Barbary Union and in exchanging enclaves which were decided for considered by the bench consisting of 8 judges. Through the Barbary case, the court stated that preamble is the key to open the mind of the makers but cannot be considered as part of the Constitution. Therefore, it is not enforceable in a court of law. However, in Keshavananda Bharati case in 1973, it has been held that preamble is a part of the Constitution and continues to be treated as an integral part of the Constitution. The question that arose in this case was whether the preamble is subject to amendment under Article 368 of the Indian Constitution. In this case, it was urged that the preamble could not be amended as it is not a part of the Constitution. The petitioner considered that the amending powers in Article 368 cannot be used to destroy or damage the basic elements or the fundamental features of the Constitution which are enshrined in the preamble. The Supreme Court, however, held that the preamble is a part of the Constitution. The court stated that the opinion tendered by in its Barbary Union case in 1960 in this regard was wrong and held that the preamble can be amended subject to the condition that no amendment is allowed to the basic features. In 1995, in this case of Union Government versus LIC of India, the Supreme Court again held that preamble is an integral part of the Constitution. Therefore, the preamble to the Constitution of India is subjected to amendment under Article 368 of the Constitution. However, the preamble was amended only once in 1976. The original text of the Constitution preamble we read as, "We the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity of the nation." In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. With the 42nd Amendment Act, the terms socialist, secular, and integrity were added to the preamble of Indian Constitution. The socialist and secular were added between sovereign and democratic. And also, the unity of the nation was changed into unity and integrity of the nation. In short, the preamble embodies the basic philosophy and fundamental values, that is, political, moral, and religious, on which the Constitution is based. It contains the grand and noble vision of the Constituent Assembly and reflects the dreams and aspirations of the founding fathers of the Constitution. The preamble declares that the people of India are the source of the Constitution. The sovereignty in the Indian polity vests in the people, and the Indian polity is of democratic form. It has elected head of the state. It will ensure economic equality. The state will treat all religions alike and it does not have its own religion. It does not seek to promote or interfere with the religions. The state will ensure justice, liberty, and equality of status and opportunities, harmony among the people, dignity of the individual, and unity and integrity of the country are assured. In short, the preamble is the very soul of the Constitution, which describes the objectives which the Constitution is committed to secure for all the people of India. Thank you.